for more on primary day. We're joined now from Washington by Bloomberg executive editor Al Hunt, who's seen quite a few primaries in his career. And Al, you know, in Florida, nothing is ever plain vanilla when it comes to elections. These candidates, you know, one from the real estate sector, you've got moguls, you've got people who are in office already. Tell us a bit about these candidates. Shed some light on them.
Well, now, Betty, stick with me for a second because this gets a little bit convoluted. The Democrats in Washington and around the country are cheering for the billionaires in Florida today. And let me explain why. In the Democratic senatorial primary, Jeff Green, who's the billionaire, is running against this African-American Kendrick Meeks. If Green wins, he's a terribly flawed candidate. Ties to Mike Tyson, Lindsay Lohan. If he wins, it means Democrats will move en masse to Charlie Crist, the independent candidate. I told you it gets complicated. And Crist becomes the favorite in the Senate, in the senatorial race. In the gubernatorial race, Rick Scott, former chairman of Columbia HCA, a company that was terribly controversial, huge Medicare fraud. He was ousted. If he wins, if he beats Bill McCollum, the establishment candidate, then the Democrat Alex Sink becomes the favorite to win in the fall. So there's a big pull by Democrats for the billionaires today. However, Betty, the betting odds right now is that both may lose.
Very interesting, Al. I know it's complicated, right? I mean, how can it not be complicated here in Florida after the whole Chad thing back in 2000? Okay, but let's get to some of the some of the voter discontent here. I mean, the fact that billionaires are getting support. What does that tell you about voter discontent?
Well, billionaires have gotten support all over the country, but the voter discontent there is so much driven by the economy. Florida has 11.5% unemployment rate. That's 2 percentage points higher than the national average. They're one of the 3 states with the highest home foreclosure rates. 1 out of every 171 homes, I think, this year have been foreclosed. Property values are down 30%. This is an economy that's really hurting, and there's no question, all things being equal, and they may not be in Florida because they rarely are, but when all things are equal, this is a big Republican year in the Sunshine State.
Well, the Tea Party has had some impact here, have they not?
Yeah, they have. It's interesting. Marco Rubio, who was the Republican senatorial candidate, was the Tea Party poster child, even before Rand Paul. Now, Florida is a very complicated state, and I think this shows you the general election politics of the Tea Party. He has trimmed his sails a bit recently because on issues like immigration, in a place like Florida, it becomes really far more complicated than just taking a straight line anti-immigrant posture. So the Tea Party, I think, is going to provide a lot of the energy, a lot of the real drive for Republicans this fall. But someone like Mr. Rubio has proven you have to be careful.
All right. Okay, Al, we'll leave it there. But certainly a lot of colorful candidates here for this primary race today. And good to talk with you.